So Glyn, what is it again?
So it's croeso cynnes iawn I Cardiff a dyma AquaX.
Whatever he said. Hello and welcome to Wales for the penultimate round of the 2015 AquaX Championship. Cardiff Bay is the setting once again, where over 40 jet ski riders will battle it out in 3 30-minute heats that really are a test of mental strength and physical endurance. The season has turned a corner and the riders' eyes will now be firmly fixed on the overall championship tables. And after some interesting results last time out in Hull, it's very much now all to play for. So here's Georgie Barrett with a reminder of the weekend's racing in the North East.
Thanks, Kev. The racing that took place in the Humber just a few short weeks ago was uncharacteristically flatter and faster than what we've come to expect from the tidal estuary. That doesn't mean the riders had an easy ride of it, though. In the 300 class, the weekend was strongly contested by the usual suspects, with former champion Russell Marmon doing enough to take the top step of the podium. Although, following a tech inspection, he was later DQ'd from 2 of the races, which moved Joe Harvey into first place, ahead of Nick Thompson and Chris Leach. The 250 class was all about Adrian Wilson and Richard Rowe fighting it out at the front, with Adrian taking a first and 2 second places behind Richard to score 54 points and take the overall win. Splitting them on the podium was Ryan O'Connor, who raced consistently to score 43 points from a 3rd and 2 4th place finishes.
It wasn't challenging conditions as such, it was the fact that the Kawasaki's were back out. Richard Rowe really performed really well, and I've got a lot of work to do with the ski now.
And once again, it was Dave Lee who took 3 wins from 3 in the 200s to cement his place at the top of the overall standings.
It wasn't until the 2nd and 3rd race today that I started to feel comfortable out there.
So we've crossed the border from England into Wales this weekend, which is good news for some of the guys because we've got 9 Welsh riders competing, including the likes of Richard Rowe, Damien Evans and this guy, Lewis Royal. So Georgie got herself out and about round the pits a little bit earlier on to find out how they all think they're going to do in front of the home crowd and to learn some of the lingo and find out what's so great about this part of the world.
Damien, Richard, we are racing in your part of the world this weekend. Is Cardiff your favourite course because of that?
No. It's just a nice venue, we're close to home, it's a pleasure to come here, but the conditions doesn't favour myself. I prefer a little bit choppier, but we'll see how it goes.
But we are really enjoying being in Cardiff, and AquaX isn't just about the racing, is it? It's sort of about the socialising and going out. Is there any place that you really recommend in Cardiff, or if someone comes to South Wales that they should do?
Yeah, there's plenty to do in Cardiff. I mean, there's all the sports and rugby.
Yes, indeed. I'm not sure if you can get to see it on camera, but there's Millennium Stadium in the background. Amazing.
But if you get the chance, you want to come to Swansea, where it's much sunnier and less rain.
Are you both from Swansea?
Just on the outskirts of Swansea, yeah, about 8-9 miles, so yeah.
And if I wanted to tuck into some traditional Welsh grub whilst I was here, what should I be eating?
There's a McDonald's. No, I meant to. You could go to the local markets, lava bread, but a personal favourite of mine is Welsh cakes.
Welsh cakes, they sound delicious. And are you going to teach me a little bit of Welsh before we go?
I think we could do that.
What about good morning? There's a nice one to start with.
Bore da.
Bore da. Well, bore da to you both. Best of luck racing today. I will look forward to seeing you on your home turf.
So the racing this weekend takes place here in Cardiff Bay, and this enclosed water system is going to bring with it its own challenges. So let's take a look at the course the riders will be taking on.
It's the most technical circuit so far this season, but it should make for a whole lot of fun for the riders.
So all to play for Cardiff, quite important races ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's all to play for. It's flat water, so I mean, it can be anyone's race really. Obviously I'd like to be up behind Phil. That's what I'd like to chase really. He's in front of me in the championship, so if I can be as near to him as possible, we're doing all right, I think.
Phil, what happened in Hull then? You were first and then disappeared.
I think it's more what didn't happen, to be fair. I hit something on the Saturday in the water and broke my hull, and then the impact did some more damage along the way, and intercooler pipe come off, and then yeah, just a bit of a bad weekend.
Yeah, disappointing. Are you sort of feeling like Cardiff, you're back stronger? This race can turn things around for you?
I don't know. Last year Cardiff wasn't my favourite round. It was.
Why is that?
I don't know. The conditions just didn't suit the boat. This was the only round that I dropped last year, so hopefully I can rewrite that and win. Well, I need some points. So.
Russell, what happened in Hull?
You tell me. Guess is as good as mine. So they reckon I had an overspeed of about 1.5 miles or something. So they deemed it that I was running too fast. So I got a DQ on race 1. Race 2 was won by Jim. I couldn't catch him.
So Cardiff coming back. You go.
Well, I'm out of points. I would have been leading the championship quite well, not comfortably, but I would have been leading by a few points. But now I'm in 4th. So. Do
you think you can pull it back though?
There's only 2 there's only 2 events left. This one, and I think if there was 3 events, yes, but 2 events. If the other guys don't make any mistakes and they don't get any infringement penalties, I think it's going to be really difficult.
Also taking part this weekend is the AquaX ski class. This generally attracts a younger rider. There are 2 categories of amateur and elite, and unlike the sit-down version, they run 4 10-minute races under a shorter and more technical track. The stand-ups are getting ready. There are approximately 20 competitors this weekend. Heading up this year's championship is number 22, 17-year-old Cameron Green, whose consistent performances have given him a championship lead in the elite division. And heading up the rookies is the 14-year-old Harry Robinson. We are underway. Race 1 in Cardiff. The 300s are let off the leash. It's pretty tight at the front with Nick Thompson, Phil Pope and Chris Leach all going for it. And having initially dropped off, Phil Pope is turning up a notch and accelerates past to take the early lead. Meanwhile, Nick Thompson has slowed down big time. It's go in the 200s and 250 classes. The big battle this weekend is between close friends Richard Rowe and Damien Evans. They'll be desperate for a strong performance. Pope continues to palm off number 50, Chris Leach. He picks a perfect inside line while Leach runs very wide on the turn, and that'll open up the gap. Joe Harvey and Richard Cable enjoying a good tussle. Both of these riders should be up there fighting for a podium. Looking at race leader Phil Pope with Nick Thompson in pursuit. He's making up some ground quickly, but surely he won't catch Pope in these conditions. Pope looking as strong as ever, cutting through the course with ease. Riders taking the turn boy, and it's Richard Rowe, who had mechanical issues in Scarborough, who's leading the 250 class. He's stealing the show. Pope still holding off Leach and Thompson, but they are closing in. Leach in second place at the moment, doing his best to stay as close to Pope as the leaders in the 300 class start to approach some traffic, and they will begin to lap some of the 200 and 250 class riders. Pope will do well to weave past the slower skis. The first obstacle is Tom Rice. Back with the 250s, Duncan Johnston still hard on the tail of the leading riders. They all desperately need the points. Meanwhile, Pope makes the pass on Rice, who eases off the gas to let him through. Further down the field, Russell Marmon is trying it on against Steve Hockney and cruises past him. He's still seething following his disqualification in Hull. Duncan Johnston is out, so Richard Rowe moves up a spot into second. That's Joe Harvey. He's got caught up in traffic and finished in the water. The head P1 AquaX Marshall giving him a helping hand. Back with Evans, who's now leading after officials deem Rowe a lap down after missing a mark. Back to the 300s. Pope still having to navigate through traffic. Here he is looking to move past 200 class leader Dave Lee, who takes a peek over his shoulder. Sitting in third, the 7-foot giant of Nick Thompson, holding off Russell Marmon. But little does he know that Pope and Leach were caught up in the same missed buoy as Rowe and 8 other riders. He's holding off Marmon. And there's the checkered flag. Thompson's won it. Pope won't be too happy when he finds out about the missed buoy. This is how they finish. Dave Lee is top in 200. Damien Lewis is the winner in 250, while Nick Thompson is triumphant in 300. The 300s are all lined up and ready to go. Pope still fuming after letting race 1 slip, but what a comeback from Thompson. Never ever give in. Because of the type of the venue, it's a staggered start. The 300s go first, followed by the 200s and 250s. We have Chris Leach and Richard Cable taking the lead. Behind us, Phil Pope and Michael Haynes. On board with Dave Lee here in the beautiful Cardiff Bay. It's Cable in front with Leach close in second as they head to the first turn. Cable's picked the inside line. It's a smart move. Leach runs really wide and has to push to make the ground. Cable's not used to being in front, so let's see what he's made of. In the 250s, Richard Rowe's the early pace setter. His son Aaron Rowe raced earlier in the day in the ski class, becoming the youngest ever P1 racer. Pope third in the 300 class as it stands. Just ahead is Chris Leach on his new Yamaha FZR, which he's racing for the first time this weekend. Still the leader is Cable, another rider who swapped from Kawasaki to Yamaha. Joe Harvey is back out following his little spill in race 1. At the rear, it's Barry Gibson. He's fighting against Welshman and Port Talbot Ski Club rookie rider Wayne Lucas. A great shot of the 300 top 3. There's not much in it. Let's see if it'll stay like that until the end. Back with 4.32 as he gets passed by Richard Rowe in the 250s. Pope's moving in for the kill in the 300s. He's really giving it some. Still smarting from the little setback he had in the opening race. In the 200s, it looks like the undefeated Dave Lee is trailing Welshman Lewis Royal. Russell Marmon currently in second spot. Nice and close to the buoy as he skips past 250 class leader Richard Rowe. Cable has dropped back a couple of positions in the pack in the 300s. Phil Pope will take the checkered flag. He was flat out throughout the whole race. He's shattered, having raced at 68 miles per hour for 30 minutes, but he'll rest up overnight and get ready to do it all again tomorrow. So Dave Lee fails to win a 200 race for the first time this season. Top spot goes to Lewis Royal and class wins for Richard Rowe and Phil Pope.
So the Welsh fans there were wowed with some great racing in a great venue here in Cardiff Bay. And best of all, the boys are coming back to do it all again tomorrow. Welcome back to day 2 here in Cardiff, where the AquaX racers treated the fans down here at Cardiff Bay to some great racing. Georgie, you were chatting to the most of them throughout the day.
I certainly was. It was an incredible battle going on between Phil Pope and Russell Marmon, with Phil just coming out on top, especially in that second race. He just took the win in the final lap. Phil also did incredibly well because he actually incurred a time penalty on that first race, along with lots of other riders, really mixing the tables up there, which pushed Nick Thompson from 3rd place up to 1st place.
Oh,
which is an amazing result for him.
Yeah, because here in the Bay, it gets a bit sort of confusing sometimes, some of those riders. I think there was about 30 of them running at the same time, and a lot of wash, a lot of marks.
Really easy to miss a buoy, that's what happened.
And that's what was happening. But it was the Welsh lads who were doing well in the other classes as well.
Absolutely. Damien Evans taking the win for the 250s and Lewis Royal taking the win in the 200s. So let's see if they can do that again today in front of the home crowds.
Well, excitement, exhilaration and gaining those all-important championship points are top of the list for all the riders, but it's their safety that's the main priority for the huge army of safety crew and marshals that are out on the water, and they're led by Chief Marshal Glyn Ovens, who Georgie caught up with earlier.
Good morning, Claire. Now, you're Chief Marshal here at AquaX. Tell us a little bit what you get up to at the weekends.
Well, here we've got a lot to look after, so we've got to set the courses, make sure it's safe. We get all the guys out on the water, make sure the skis and the boats are fully fueled, and we just make sure that nothing's going to go wrong for us. Because if the riders in the races, there's something goes wrong for them, if we have a problem, then everyone's in trouble.
You've got to have it all set up so it's okay. You have quite a team working for you, don't you?
Yeah, we've got a range of different people, from paramedics to RNLI crew members who come and work as well, trainers, a vast array of different people who come here. But yeah, we've got sort of 30, 40 people all on the water doing their little bit towards keeping everyone safe. There's very few full-timers who actually work with us, but they all have full-time roles. Paramedics, there's one of the paramedics who works on the air ambulance in London. Another chap, he's helm for all the lifeboats around the country. Yeah, so everyone brings a little bit of their own world to our safety team.
So good to know all of the riders are in safe hands, and big thanks to all of the safety crew for the work they do each and every weekend. Back to the championship though, and after yesterday, there's plenty to talk about this morning.
Nick, congratulations. You came out first in the first race here at AquaX weekend. How did that race plan out for you? Because actually, you were third to begin with, weren't you?
I was. I had a really good start, and I was running second, and then I got passed by Chris Leach, and I was in third place. All of a sudden, they just started veering off to the wrong buoy, and I was thinking, where are they going? So in the end, I just took the opposite buoy, and I thought, well, what have I got to lose? I can try and catch them back up if I'm going wrong, or I'm gonna gain a place.
Well, Phil, good weekend so far. Yesterday, you came out on that final race, beating Russell Marmon. Really intense. How have you found it yourself?
Yeah, I think the course has helped. Making these extra few buoys in has slowed everyone down a little bit and made it a little more technical. But yesterday, yeah, brilliant race with us. It went till the last lap,
It really did.
Back markers played a part, but yeah, it's racing and it's brilliant.
So Damien, you're joint first at the moment. Is it nice being in Cardiff, playing in front of the Welsh crowd and coming out on top?
Yeah, it's great. I'm really enjoying it, and to be in a fantastic location in your home country is a bit of a novelty. Yeah, really pleased.
Who's the one to beat today for you then?
Richard Rowe is the one to beat, but I think he's got the edge on me on the flat water. You never know, anything can happen in this game, so just got to keep pushing till till the flag goes down, you know.
Time for the final race. Who can push the hardest until the flag drops? There is the green flag. It's go, go, go. The 300 class are away. It looks like Michael Haynes is off to a flyer once again. So it's Haynes, Cable and Thompson setting the early pace. On board with Dave Lee. How will he bounce back from losing his perfect record to Lewis Royal? Haynes looks over his shoulder and Cable is right there with him. They hit the first turn buoy. Cable picks the perfect line. Haynes runs wide, and that'll cost him the lead. The trailing pack led by Marmon. They're not too far behind. Pope, Leach and Thompson also there. Chris Leach is just ahead of Pope at the moment as they approach the marker. Look how close they are. Neither look unnerved. Cable expertly weaves in and out of the markers in this extremely technical course. It may be the most technical we've seen so far this season, which should make it a whole lot of fun for the riders and the fans who are also here to enjoy the Cardiff Harbour Festival this weekend. The battle for third, Thompson and Marmon, they are side by side. Richard Cable looks to be in good shape up top. Looking at the riders as they head onto the straightest section of the course. Michael Haynes has dropped off the pace a little after another blistering start to the race, but he's still looking strong. Marmon closely followed by Leach and Pope. Joe Harvey at the back of the picture. He'll be disappointed with this weekend. Lewis Royal eases around the turn buoy. He'll want to do the double over Lee this weekend, but has some ground to make up. We're back with the 300 class. Nick Thompson, Chris Leach motoring around the marker. It's neck and neck, but it's Leach on the outside as he edges in front. Race 3 leader, Richard Cable, flies by the big boy. He knows that Pope's after him, and he is back on his feet, willing his Yamaha to shift a bit quicker. Pope is right on his tail, and he'll chase hard no matter what. The flat conditions mean it's easier to manoeuvre around the course and keep close to the boys. Marmon still blazing through, which is what you'd expect from an experienced endurance rider. Meanwhile, it's closed right up in 300. Pope's caught Cable. They're practically touching, nose to nose. It's a dogfight. Can Cable hold off the challenge? No, he can't. What a pass. A big, big moment. (131). That is Steve Hockney. On board with Dave Lee, who's put the last race disappointment behind him and is back where he wants to be, and that is out in front. Pope now lapping the quicker riders in the 250 and 200 class. In the 250s, we're with Richard Rowe, who's had another solid outing. He leads, but he'll have to stay sharp and be on his game, because right behind him is Damien Evans. It looks like Russell Marmon has now caught up with Cable. Cable has to finish strong. He'll be devastated if he drops to third. Race leader Phil Pope very close to the finish line. There's the checkered flag. Phil Pope takes 2 out of 3 races in Cardiff. A little pat of his jet ski. He's absolutely whacked. Dave Lee back on top on 200 with Lewis Royal second this time. Richard Rowe conquers all in 250, and the same can be said for Phil Pope in 300. So this is the overall picture then at the end of a great weekend of racing.
Dave, great to see you once again, and I say again because often at the end of the weekend, here you are as the winner. You've done it once again.
Yeah, I mean, I made a few mistakes this weekend, and having said that, I mean, the second race, it was mine to lose, basically. My last lap, I missed the buoy on the last lap, as a consequence, put me in second place. But that's racing.
So, Richard, huge congratulations, top honours on the weekend on home turf. Tell us about it.
Great, excellent. I mean, couldn't wish for better. I mean, started off a bit shaky, needed a sat-nav, but it all came good in the end. It was a really enjoyable weekend.
So, Phil, congratulations on the weekend win, and you've done it in front of your family. Tell us about it.
Yeah, sure. It's, this time last year in Cardiff, it weren't my best result. This was the one round that I lost. So I'm glad to get back here and rewrite Cardiff for me.
So this is how all 3 championships look as they go into the final round in Bournemouth.
So the battle in the Bay here on the AquaX weekend really was a thriller. Great racing across all 3 classes. Dave Lee doing the business in the 200s, extending his championship lead. Richard Rowe moving up to lead the championship in the 250s, and Phil Pope, well, he's still running the show in the 300s. We're going to head to Bournemouth next for the season finale, and we'd love it if you could join us there. But for now, from all of us here in Cardiff, see ya.